we're all on a real stiff isn't even the word. This is how scattered. We're all very tired here. Welcome to another episode of We Watch Shudder. My name's JD. Who's here with me?
It's Michelle, and I think I bumped the thing on my microphone, so I am super loud. I am. I fixed it in real time, like a professional.
Like a pro. Well done, Michelle. Guys, sorry for the delay in the episode.
I'm not.
Appreciate your
You can
understanding.
fuck right off.
Oh, Michelle, is that the kind of attitude you're having today with your tired?
Maybe. Here's the thing. Death Stranding 2 came out today. And these people are lucky that I'm even here right now. And if they're mad that it's a late episode, they ain't going to hear from me for a month.
That's that's
try
fair. We had, of course, as we're recording this anyway, Darkest Day of Horror Film Festival 2025 this past weekend. We had a lot of fun, but it was a long, long day. And then it was Michelle's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you, Michelle? Too old?
I'm 36. And my least favorite
36.
number is 3, so I'm real mad about it.
Well, sometimes that's going to happen. There's lots of 3s in the world.
Yeah, and there's a lot of factor of 3s in 36, and I hate it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. That's our show.
Yep. Goodbye.
That joke is never going to get old to me anyway. It's probably already way old to everybody. Anyway, welcome to We Watch Shudder. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you for checking it out. Everything you need to know is in the name of the show. We watch Shudder a lot, and we talk about horror movies. And today, we're talking about a new horror movie that just came out in theaters earlier this year and is available now, surprise, on Shudder. It's called Ash. Have you heard of Ash out there in podcast land? Michelle, you had heard of Ash, hadn't you?
I had seen Ash. Yes,
oh, that's right.
really
You did see this once before we...
I have a hookup.
Yeah, Michelle watched this movie illegally because she's a brazen scofflaw.
It's different.
A brazen scofflaw. Look, just because you got it from somebody legitimate, or just because the person you got it from got it legitimately, doesn't mean it was theirs to share with you, Michelle.
Yes, so they're the ones breaking the rules. I am not.
Well, you're receiving stolen goods.
Yep, and they're great.
Yeah, but that's a crime.
No.
Yes, it is.
Says who?
I'm not. Well, says the gummy mint and the police and the people who decide what crimes are.
Well, in that case, I have never seen this movie before today.
Nobody cares. Oh, God. We're having a day. It's 6 o'clock in the afternoon. My dog is rolling around on the bed. Now he's started coughing for some reason. Is this what our day is going to be? Riley, I'm trying to record a podcast here. Michelle, tell us what you knew about Ash. Let's get back to doing something smart here.
I knew it had Aaron Paul, and that's always a good thing. And I knew that it... Yes, always.
He was in that Driver movie that wasn't so snappy.
I'm going to have to go look up which Driver movie. But I also knew it was directed by Flying Lotus. And here's the deal. Flying Lotus is the only time that I have... Flying Lotus is responsible for the only time I have almost thrown up on this podcast. One of the few times I have had to pause a movie because I might vomit if I continued. And I had to watch that out of the corner of my eye. Kuso wrecked me, and I hope I never see it again. Yeah. That said, I love Ozzy's Dungeon from VHS 99, so I was excited.
Yeah, we did an episode about Kuso for the show. If you've never seen it, man, it's hard for me. I kind of want to say you should see it, but at the same time, I'm like, oh man, it's real something. It's
there are parts of it that I really enjoyed, but there's a certain part I hope I never, ever, ever see again because it came real close.
Yeah, well, lucky for you, though, it happens, if I'm not mistaken, within like the first 5 to 10 minutes of the movie, so you could just like jump right past that.
Yeah, but the opening song of Cusco is really good, so I'm going to have to figure out exact timestamps.
Is that the bus driver thing?
I don't recall what he looks like. I just remember being like, this is weird. I'm in.
Right on. Anyway,
and then it got real liquidy. It's real liquidy.
we're familiar with Flying Lotus. He's a weirdo. Done like music producer, like tons of music credits on his IMDb. This is only the second feature film that he's directed, and he didn't write this one. He wrote and directed Kuso. This one was written by somebody called Johnny Remler. Yes, Johnny Remler, who has also written other things that I have never heard of. So,
well, only some episodes of a TV show I've never heard of, and then this. This is the first feature.
Right, so that's some things that I've never heard of. And so, yeah, kind of oh man, why we gotta stop trying to do this any other time but in the late evening. Anyway.
We should just stop in general. People would love that.
Yeah, we
Let's
should just
give up.
End the podcast. Yeah, we continue to get dozens and dozens and dozens of listens, hundreds ultimately, according to the total statistics. But clearly, nobody wants us to keep doing the podcast. No, Ash is I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. Michelle, help me.
We watched Shudder in the past tense, and you can watch Shudder if you haven't yet. There's a movie. It's called Ash. It's by Flying Lotus, a.k.a. the throw-up man. How dare he? And it's got Aaron Paul and Isa Gonzalez, and it's a movie. It's on Shudder. Do you want me to read the IMDb description?
I feel like we're in desperate need of a therapy portion of the episode, but I don't even really know where to begin.
Okay.
I feel like things always get weird with the dynamic of the episode because I feel like I'm trying to force the episode and I don't even know. Man. Life's weird, huh? World War III, probably, right around the corner. Dropping bombs on Iran. Iran dropping bombs on us. Fucking... How are we supposed to continue being normal, everyday people in this situation, Michelle? How
Escapism via video games. That's how. I'm going to be a guy delivering packages in an apocalyptic setting.
But that's not far enough from reality for me. That's
why I love Death Stranding 1, because it took place during COVID, and it was the perfect timing. It's a perfect COVID.
Somebody's inevitable fate. Is they're going to be just delivering packages in the apocalypse.
Yeah, it'll be me. I'm going to be so prepared. I know how to balance properly, and I know how to run without dropping boxes.
So anyway, yeah, that's where my head is now. We get to, some weeks, we get to deal with the micro level and things going on immediately in your life. Like, am I going to be able to continue buying my medication on a regular basis? And then other days, is somebody going to drop a giant fucking bomb on my head out of nowhere and everything's going to blow up? I love being alive in America in 2025. That's a lie. Anyway.
I'm happy I'm alive in 2025 because I paid for the collector's edition of Death Stranding 2, which means I get it 2 days early, and that day is today.
And then, I don't know, every single day I go out into the world, I get more and more and more annoyed by other people and just, being rude. Like, the other day, my mom and I were going into the store, and I opened the door for my mom to go into the store, and this other person, pushing a shopping cart, nose buried down in their cell phone, just comes plowing through the goddamn door, smacks into me with the cart, almost knocks over my dear old mom, and has the audacity to get fucking pissed at me. Like I'm the one being the asshole for telling her she should watch where she's going. I can't handle people, Michelle. They suck.
I like to think that if you hadn't opened the door, she would have just barreled head on into it. That's the alternative.
That's the flip side of it. Is not only did I have a lot of anger and a lot of just how the fuck are you a person? There was also a certain amount of, man, if I had just waited a few more seconds, that would have been something else. But anyway, I did make up for it by going to Taste of Philly afterwards for the first time, and me and Mom split a chicken Philly sandwich, and holy shit. Have you ever been to Taste of Philly, Michelle?
I have not. I don't leave my house if I can help it.
Well, I'm pretty sure you can get it on like a DoorDash or whatever. Do you like a chopped like Philly steak type sandwich?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh man, well that
I'm not a huge meat person, but Philly cheesesteaks are good.
You're almost entirely a meat person, Michelle.
I am
Every
made
one
of
of
meat.
Yes, we are all meat people.
Okay, fair. I am. It puts a new new meaning to the phrase "meat cute." All of us are meat cute.
Well, all of us are meat. I don't know about the other thing. That's a whole nother level of the therapy portion. Here's the thing that I did, though, that made me happy. So when my friend Dee died a couple of years ago, she left a bunch of stuff behind, obviously, because that's what happens when you die. And I have this art bench that she used that I converted into my desk/table thing, hybrid, whatever, for recording a podcast. And I have slowly but surely been building up a collection of decorations on the desk. And I finally have started permanently affixing them to the desk with like some some super glue to make it
permanent.
Yeah, I know. That's the whole idea, is I'm making it mine and hers now. And so that made me happy, because it's like,
that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, but now it's like I took the thing that she made her art with and made it an art of my own.
I get the reasoning, but like I can't even figure out where to put a sticker.
Well,
because it's too permanent.
Well, thanks for making my whole little thing about you, Michelle. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
No, it's fine.
It's my birthday,
Michelle. That's why it took me so long to do it. Is because I was just like, man, I don't know. Is she gonna get mad at me if I glue stuff on her table? Look, you stop laughing at me.
I do think like that she's like, God damn it, I wanted you to have the table, but not like that, and that she would get mad at you is very funny, because I can picture that. I can picture her like floating around as a ghost, being like, God damn it.
What did you do?
Very funny.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like almost weirdly enough, the therapy portion isn't just the therapy portion, but it also like gets me in a mood, gets me ready to talk about this fucking movie. I don't know. It helps warm up the old jabberjaws and the brain pan and all that good stuff, or whatever I'm talking about.
Some people have vocal warm-ups. You have therapy warm-ups.
How is Death Stranding 2 so far, by the way?
Oh, I haven't started. It's installing right now.
Oh, it's installing. I gotcha.
It's probably done installing, which is why we gotta make this quick.
Let's get this fucking episode put to tape. Michelle, I'm going to read the IMDb descriptive script for Ash.
Yeah.
Tell these people what this movie is about. Where'd it go? It was right in front of me 2 seconds ago. Oh, yeah, I jumped over to Johnny Rimler's page to see what else he had done. Here you go. Ash. A woman wakes up on a distant planet and finds the crew of her space station viciously killed. Her investigation into what happened sets in motion a terrifying chain of events. Ash. 2025. Rated R. Hour and 35 minutes. A Shudder exclusive. Michelle.
Uh-huh.
As somebody who saw this once before and has now seen it a second time, spoiler-free thoughts, please.
Yeah. Only if you're not a cop will I admit that. If you're a cop, you've got to tell me. Anyway.
If I'm a cop, somebody's done a really good job of putting me undercover, because I don't even fucking know.
That would be great. Oh, like sleeper agents. Never mind. That's a concept already. Okay.
Sleeper cop.
Ash does not have sleeper cops. It has outer space. That's different. This movie, I really like so many aspects of it, but giving it a numerical value as a whole is going to be very difficult, because the parts that I like, I feel like if you like the story of a movie, that can carry it really strongly. In this, the story is something I've seen so much that all of these other incredible elements of special effects and lighting and color saturation and soundtrack and all of those pieces, they they don't carry it as far as like a good story would, and the story is something I've seen so many times before. I wish that the story was on par with every other element in this. So I think it's worth watching once. It's slightly forgettable. There are parts that I like so much though, which is a bummer. I'm going to go for my rating with a 2.73.
2.73 skulls for Michelle. Oh, I'm sorry, Riley. I accidentally stepped on his tail while I was repeating the thing you just said.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but he jumped up on the bed, and he knows I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. He knows. Anyway.
Well, do you want to hit us with your spoiler-free thoughts?
I mean,
stepping on your dog.
I was going to, but then you did it. That's pretty much exactly where I came down on this. Like, look, this is a beautiful fucking movie. We know that Flying Lotus is a talented visual artist, right? And he has unique ideas, and he's willing to do these very loud, surreal sort of things. And it is visually beautiful. But the story is, like you said, something that we've seen before. I knew exactly what was going on all the way through the film. Obviously there are little details that I wouldn't have guessed, but the general idea of what's happening here. And also, the movie is only 95 minutes long, but it felt much longer to me. It felt very slow. And not in an enjoyable way. Like, I kept looking at the clock to see how much more of it there was. And I think that's because of what you said. Like, it's beautiful to look at, and there are some great ideas here. But ultimately, I thought the story was very, for me, very unsatisfying. There are things here that I wish the story had been about that it's not about. Like, I wish this movie had been more about the planet and what the hell was going on there than about these people who went to the planet. But, yeah, I'm right there with you. I was coming down on a 3 skull, so right there at the 2.73 sort of level. But, yeah, 3 skulls on this one for me.
3 skulls, which gives an average of
2.865.
Yes, it does.
Ha-ha! Math.
I
hate that I'm so good at a thing that I hate doing.
I love math, and I'm bad at it. Could we switch?
I wish.
By the way, I passed my geology exam that I had to take yesterday on my birthday.
The one that you were so...
Yeah, I didn't know the answers. I guessed, and I'm so happy I still got an 80 because there is a 25% chance of getting each question right if it's multiple choice. And so I did it that way, and I passed, and I don't know how. I was convinced I was going to have an F.
Well,
so I got a B.
There you go. Sometimes it pays off to gamble, Michelle.
Yeah, it was a test where they showed me pictures of rocks and then asked what kind of rock it was. I'm not good at that.
Was one of them basalt or basalt, depending on who you ask?
That was one of the options, but it was not the rock I was trying to identify. It showed me 4 pictures and says, which of these is this kind of rock? And I went, well, I recognize that one, and that was it.
Was it feldspar?
No, although I know that feldspar is closer to the felsic, not mafic side of cooling of rocks.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true, but I'm trying to remember the diagram.
Here's what I'm curious about, Michelle, and we'll get back to Ash here in just a minute because
gotta talk about rocks.
Well, it's a thought I just had that didn't occur to me until just now. You were fretting
yes.
over this geology exam all day long while we were working over at Dark's Day of Horror. And it just occurred, and I've probably even asked this before, and you've probably explained, why are you taking a geology class?
Because when I got my associates, I did not need to take my generals. So now I have to take my generals to officially be considered a junior for my bachelor's.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, that's... I mean, I appreciate your ambition, but that sucks.
Yeah.
Having to go back and do, like general studies. What other... Is that... I suppose that's why you're in... I suppose that's also why you were in those math classes, huh?
Yep, I had to take freshman level math because the first time that I I took my ACT and I had a high enough score to skip it at that point, but that doesn't matter anymore. So I had to take basic math again, which was fun. I aced that class. No, I mean, I did until the final part that we don't talk about, but I had a really easy time with that. Engineering was hard because that was for the science part of my degree. And then I think I just am taking stress management as like a 1-credit course. And then I will be done with my generals and officially a junior because I am taking junior level classes too. It's going to be an accounting year. I don't like accounting. I'm not going to be happy about it.
Good job on making it another trip around the sun. Good job on just AC/DCing your way to a passing grade.
Yeah,
I suppose we should probably talk about Ash now for a little while, huh?
Yeah, this movie also got a passing grade.
It did. So that's always a plus. Guys, we're going to get into spoilers here now. So if you want to see the movie before you listen to the spoilers, this is where you're going to want to pause. Make sure you come back. Michelle, for the folks who are not going to watch and because they just don't care, or they are going to watch, but again, they don't care. Explain what happens in this movie as best you can, please.
So I've seen this movie twice. I saw this movie earlier today, and yet I'm having a hard time remembering the details. And that's something important about this movie that kind of goes to show you what I mean about the story. So Rio wakes up, and she's real pretty, and we get a lot of close-ups of her face, and that's nice. But she's on a weird planet, and like Pretty Girl on a Weird Planet, whoa, that's the kind of movie I'm into. And then Aaron Paul, aka Brian, shows up, and he's handsome, so now it's like, cool, I get to look at a cool planet and 2 attractive leads, yay. And then Ria's figuring out that she killed everybody. Her mind is gone, but she's getting flashes of killing all the people on this ship, and they're trying to figure out, like, what happened to the people? How are we getting off this planet? Why are we on this planet? And so they're trying to answer like all the basic stuff. Eventually, it is revealed that Brian is just a figment of Ria's imagination caused by the infection, aka creature thing that is in her brain. And this thing also wants to make her the only sole survivor. Either to like teach them about the human race or something. They consider it a great honor. That whole interaction with the monster is real cool. JD, you're gonna have to wait. I saw your face when I said a very specific thing, and I know you're gonna go off about it. So then Ria, she gets to use the medbot in order to pull the thing out of her brain, and that is my favorite part of the whole movie. I love the medbot. You said you could use a movie that's more about the planet. I could use more interactions with the medbot. I want it to be so chipper and give a little like huzzah when it like does a thing, and then like, oh no, they're dead, but we don't care, and plays like a little boop boop music. Like, I love the medbot, and I could have used a lot more of the medbot in this film. But Ria, she gets the thing removed from her head, and then she travels somewhere else. And then JD told me that I had to watch the mid-credits, and I'm glad he did because I never do. And then it turns out that the infection thing is coming after her. Bum, bum, bum.
Michelle, I believe I told you to watch all the way to the end of the credits.
I did, and there was nothing at the very end of the credits.
Oh, yes, there is, and we'll talk about it. Anyway, the thing I wanted to point out here that I rose my hand about, just that what they were trying to do is they were going to, like, genetically merge themselves with her to create, like, a human-alien hybrid thing. For what purpose, I don't know, but that's what they were going to do ultimately.
And I wasn't sure if they were, like, trying to create a new thing like that, or if they just wanted to live within her like they kind of had been. I was not super clear. Their alien waves are foreign to me.
Yeah, for sure. And then no, I absolutely agree with you about the medbot. With your what you were saying there, did you happen to notice the kitschy little messages that would show up in text on the screen, like at the end of like procedures, or when they would discover that somebody was dead?
I remember finding them amusing, but I don't remember the specifics of a single one
Oh
of them.
no, but I just wanted to make sure you had noticed them. Because they.
I love the Medbot.
The Medbot is. Here's my only question about the Medbot. As long as we're on this, because again, what a brilliant little the way it talks in English and then Japanese, and it's like
it's really cute.
But it's also like the most like corporate saccharine, like, hey,
yeah, no pain meds for her. She's dead now. Like,
but
nothing.
Speaking of that, though, that's my one big question. They have this advanced medbot technology. They can't put this lady to sleep before they shove giant needles in her brain.
Yep.
She's got
the Medbot is efficient, not
she's
empathetic.
got to just suffer through all of that. That seems insane to me. I find that little element just a little hard to believe. That's the part that got me in this movie about a planet where ash falls from the sky, and apparently there are hallucinogenic drugs in the atmosphere. And then they give us all of that in like the first 5 or 6 minutes, and then they never do anything. They never do anything with it. That frustrated me so much. That whole thing at the beginning, when she's out there breathing whatever is in that atmosphere, and she starts to see the shit swirling in the sky like weird portals to places. Fuck, man, I wanted to know what was going on there, and we never... we get a little bit about what these things are that live there. Frankly, at this point, I'm getting a little... I think I've had my fill of, it's a weird fungus creature. Like that's, we've seen that a bunch of times. It's obviously Invasion of the Body Snatchers / The Thing. We've seen that sort of stuff. It's all happening in your head, but, I don't even remember where exactly I was going with all of this. But yeah, I just really wanted to see more of, because the planet was beautiful. He did such an amazing visual job, not even just with the planet, with the whole movie. But yeah, I was so taken by that whole opening sequence that I think even that, because like I said, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a little predictable, but I think I was so set up by that opening that the rest of the movie just couldn't compete with it.
This, how was I going to phrase this? I had it perfectly in my head, much like an infectious parasite from an alien planet. And I'm trying to rip it out using a medbot, and it's staying in there. This movie, I think if it was directed by somebody else with less talent and had the exact same script, it would have just been forgettable and kind of boring. Yeah. I feel like everything really good about this comes from Flying Lotus, and that makes it more of a frustrating experience than just like I don't need to really talk to anybody about this. Like, it's not a movie to strongly dislike. It's a movie to be upset about because we wanted so much more. There were so many interesting components, and we didn't draw those out as fully as I wish that we had. I was going to say, back when we started our show 3 years ago, Jesus, we had a time where there were a lot of what we called purple movies, like Color Out of Space and Glorious, and how like purple is the best, like weird horror overlay. And I am happy that this is more of a purple movie. I feel like that was a phase that we don't see as much. I like a purple movie.
I had that very exact same thought, and it has been a minute since we had a purple movie. It's also like purple movies also, to a certain extent, have a little bit of like, not necessarily like overtly sexual, but like sort of like even just like metaphorically sexual things. And obviously there's all sorts of penetration going on here. And all like when he sticks his fingers into that hole in her head, what the fuck? Like the body horror stuff, all of that is really good. But yeah, it was a purple movie, and I'm glad we both had that same thought. I was gonna ask you if you had noticed that it was a purple movie.
I had noticed it was a purple movie, and yeah, full of lots of sexual symbolism. Like you said, I really wanted to fuck the medbot too. I understand. I bet that thing is a freak.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's got some interesting
And then it plays a little
tools.
fanfare afterwards. Oh, the Medbot is so proud of it did a real good job. A real good hand job.
Did you really just do that?
I did. I did indeed. And I feel no regrets about it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then the whole, like, once we, like, I thought the whole alien exposition thing, went on, like, so much of this felt like it was going on way too long. And I don't know why, because, again, it's not a particularly long movie. And like you said, it's a pretty standard, almost like mainstream or like B-movie sci-fi plot, right? There's the underlay of like, oh, they're trying to figure out ways to scrub atmosphere because we've destroyed the Earth's atmosphere or whatever. So these like environmental undertones, but even that they don't dig into in any way at all. They mention it just briefly, and the whole story ultimately is just focused on who is Rhea, how did these people die, why did she kill them, who is Brian. It's this very, they created, it's the thing that I always get annoyed by, is they created this beautiful world to live in, and then we got nothing to do with it, and it was really kind of disappointing on that level. It's
Even though...
you know, I would go ahead.
Oh, I was going to go to a new subject, so you go ahead and finish your thought.
Yeah, I was going to say that I wouldn't even say that it's bad on the one side. Again, it's competently done. What I don't want to say, I think the direction and the visuals are so good that the story just can't quite keep up.
100%. That's exactly. I was talking to our friend Aaron about it earlier because he messaged me and said that he was looking forward to our episode about it because he was feeling very conflicted in the exact same way that we are, of just like, I think I overall enjoyed it, but it was kind of like lackluster. Even though it's kind of predictable, I do like the reveal that Brian is just a head creature, like a hallucination. I do like that he's not actually physically real. I always like a Tyler Durden kind of thing.
Well,
yeah.
The walking, talking Brian anyway, because she finds real Brian,
Other Brian
and he's
is,
in real trouble.
Yeah. So I guess I like Parasite Brian.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I may have almost overlooked it. Just incredible, and obviously, again, huge homage to The Thing, but just that wild body horror when his head splits open and there's the tentacles, and then all of a sudden he like turns his person arm into a fungus alien arm, and it's just fucking going
That's my
wild.
second favorite part after the Medbot.
There's a lot of great body horror in this, a lot of like some of the damage that happens to these folks, and then you've got like those flashes when she's having her dreams where like faces are melting and such. Really, and again, for me, I think because of how visceral it was, not even the Medbot, but when Brian sticks his fingers into that hole in her forehead, there's just something about that specifically that was just like, oh fuck, that's fucking intense. You said your second favorite was probably what? Remind me. Oh, are you just saying your
Medbot.
first favorite thing was the Medbot? I thought we were talking about like other special effects or gore
like
moments.
goopy parts. No,
Right.
I love all of the effects of all the like squishy things.
Sure.
All the way that they died, the way she has to kill them, all great. But that Medbot, I really like the Medbot.
It was fantastic. You know what it reminded me of in a lot of ways is like a variation on. Did you ever see a movie called Moon?
Yes, I also thought of Moon while I was watching that. I don't want to say anything specific about Moon in
Right.
case somebody out there hasn't seen it, because I think everybody should see Moon. But yes,
Oh, it's
that was another
fabulous.
comparison that I
But
thought of, where I was like, if I was going to watch this, I'd probably watch Moon instead.
yeah, well, and I was just thinking, and I don't think this is spoilery because it's a character. The Medbot reminded me a lot of the unfortunately Kevin Spacey voiced robot character in that movie.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler. That the robot character is a character throughout.
Right.
So I think you're fine.
Yeah, but so I thought, very interesting. Like the movie definitely wears its influences on its sleeve. Now, here's the thing. This is why, and it's the kind of thing where even though I overall didn't care for the story too much, there is one thing going on here. So the timing is all weird to me right now. Obviously, I know the things that Brian are telling us throughout most of the movie is gonna be mostly just made up bullshit because he's a figment of her imagination. But I feel like if you like, there's a certain amount of. I got the impression like if real Brian has been dead for 51 hours. And the idea was they had to get out of here within the next 12 hours or they weren't going to get out. Now, obviously, that part is up and down. But as we got towards the end of the movie, I started to get a feeling, and I don't remember exactly why, and this is why I might have to watch it again. There's enough things, or at least I got a gut feeling in the last several minutes of the movie that she doesn't ever actually leave that planet. That she died there. And she never actually gets off. And the reason I told you to watch until the very end of the film is that Flying Lotus music continues, and at the very end, the music stops. There are squelching sound effects like the fungus monster, and then a pulse meter beeping into a flat line.
Okay.
And I feel like there's gotta be some significance to that, right?
Yeah, you've put a lot more weight on it than I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like so I don't know, and this is a weird thing to say, because again, I didn't hate the movie by any means. I thought it was worth seeing once. But I almost feel like I need to go back and watch it again just to sort out the few questions that I still have about it.
The life support one, I think that was just that it takes a lot more oxygen if they're all alive, and she could stay alive a lot longer, 50 plus hours, if nobody else was consuming the resources. They were all dead.
Right, but I'm talking about like the amount of time that he was saying they had left to get off after they're already dead. Right? They're already dead.
Oh,
and he's
then
like,
he said
we got
12 hours are left?
Yeah, he's like, that was the whole thing from the beginning, is that's why they couldn't wait to figure out what was going on, like what happened to these people, or try to find the one lady who hadn't, they hadn't found her corpse yet. They had to get off the planet. And I feel like that part obviously becomes just a part of he's trying to make sure she doesn't ever find out what's happening. Like those patches she's been putting on her neck, which we ultimately find out are designed specifically to block her memory, to stop her from figuring out what the hell happened. And so, but no, I got that real vibe towards the end that there was a very real possibility she never actually made it off that planet.
I don't like that as much. I like a depressing ending, but that would just be, again, just something I've seen too many times, and another element of the script that would make me go, ugh.
I mean, and for that matter, the ending is depressing, even if that's not the case. I do love that shot when they cut through and she's flying up towards the orbital, and then we get the opposite angle shot, and it's just crawling with that fungus creature. Yeah. Again, very commonplace thing, very tropey. But I had a good time with this one. You won't be making a mistake to watch it, but I don't know that it's gonna be one that people come back to a lot over and over.
Yep.
Well, what else do we have to say about it, Michelle?
Nothing.
This
We
is gonna
said
be
so much more than I thought we would.
Well, I'm glad you didn't say that before the episode began, because typically when we say that before we begin, it ends up being a marathon. And this is looking like it's going to be coming in as the shortest episode we've done in a while.
Good. Death Stranding 2 awaits.
I have no problem with that. I got to get a couple hours nap in before I go to work. Take care of yourselves,
I gotta go
guys.
save the planet.
Michelle's got to go play Death Stranding. Michelle, have you learned one way or the other yet whether or not Margaret Qualley is in Death Stranding 2?
Oh, fuck. I don't remember if I knew or not. I think because I told people I didn't want to know.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was
like, did I see it in like an article or something? But I didn't want to know. And one of the cool things about having a memory disability is if somebody tells me something, I can just make sure I don't store that.
Sometimes spoilers don't stay spoilers.
Oh, not in my case. Like this movie. Tomorrow you ask me what the plot is, I'll have no idea. I'm not putting this one in the long-term memory bank. There's limited space there.
And
I have to be able to pull out different things.
And even if you could, you've got to make all that room for Death Stranding too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Michelle, we're clearly not having our best day here, and this movie is
I'm having a great day.
Well, I'm not having my best day, and I'm trying to throw you under the bus with me. Oh, there you go.
Okay, fair.
I just got a battery low warning from my headphones. We should wrap this up. Say Death Stranding 2, Michelle.
Death Stranding 2, Michelle.